What are our expectations for Photon Hypernova? Alright, 34% of you that have not smashed the living crap out of that subscribe button, smash it so we can climb up the 100k ladder here. So I put together my list of cards that I think are going to be secret rare in this set to see and kind of give a good example line here of what we can expect. So first up over here is going to be Rise Heart. Do keep in mind that we did have the supposed images that were floating around recently that did actually show Rise Heart looking like it was going to be a actual secret. Now the thing that makes me very curious about this was I figured a Rise Heart would be the one, the big Exceed monster for this, but I've been thinking more and more to myself recently, and I honestly kind of think that we are going to see Rise Heart actually follow suit with this, though a Rise Heart would have made much more sense because most of the extra deck good stuff cards ended up being secret rares for a lot of these other versions of decks. So for now it's either going to be Rise Heart or a Rise Heart, so the Exceed or Rise Heart in that secret rare slot. Shouldn't be too surprised about that. Next up is going to be the Tree Crown Armor Beargram. Now this should be no surprise to anybody. This was like the big boss monster for this deck that banishes your 3 insects and or plant monsters to summon it. This card's actually pretty good. I mean, 3,400 attack points actually is pretty good, and then once per turn you can destroy all face-up monsters on the field except for insects and plant monsters, and then yeah, it can't attack directly this turn. Who really cares about that? Like if there's something else on the field that you need to battle over with this, you can do it, and it's on a free very large monster. Like I guess banishing 3 is kind of hefty in the current modern era, would be like the only real reason why I would see a potential dial back on people not really wanting to play this. But if this does make the secret rare slot, I mean it only makes sense for us to really have that level of scaling for this. So a little bit disappointing, but I have a feeling that's what's coming here. Now this next one shouldn't be much of a secret. Eevee Gishki Nemesis. Good news about this one is you don't play 3 of this, alright? Like, secret rares that aren't 3 ofs, I mean, obviously people are going to be complaining. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, like, what's really the point to, you know, seeing these cards in secret rare? They're just going to bring down my box value. Sure, but I mean, like, Gishki was one of the coolest themes in this set, and it is one of the power cards in this set. If this card does not get like a secret reprinting, it'll definitely end up in the ultra slot for sure. But I mean, free negate spin back interaction is pretty good. Like, let's be honest here, they did a good job with the Gishki support. They just wanted it to blend into the Sprite deck, but that's perfectly fine here. Now we also have the Grand Finale Dragon. So this is actually Cartesia's fusion plus a light or a dark monster. Completely generic, by the way. I definitely suspect that this definitely eats up the slot of a secret rare. And if you're sitting here, you're going, I don't know, Robbie. Yeah. If this thing gets in anything other than a secret rare slot, I'm going to be massively, like, just shocked. This card also technically does follow the waifu tax out here, showcasing, you know, Blazing Cartesia on the card, as you see on the art. So don't be massively surprised here when, you know, the set starts to roll out and you're like, oh no, I pulled the Grand Finale Dragon and the Eevee Gishki from my box. That's going to happen, unfortunately. Next up here is going to be Champion Sargass. Now, you have to think about it like this. The reason why Sargass is probably going to end up in the slot of a secret rare is the fact that it has, one, access to the Thurions, so they're going to want to keep this in a higher rarity to kind of match what they had already established with the Thurions. But this would technically be the boss monster for Sprite, actually. And Sprite don't have anything higher than Ultras. So the big thing with this is we can go ahead and assume here that because we want to, you know, tip off and maintain rarity for 2 archetypes here, maintaining something as like a boss monster for an archetype for this perfectly makes sense. So you give Spriggans their big, awesome, cool boss monster in secret rare. Even as a secret rare, this isn't going to cost a lot of money. Like, that's the big thing. Like, even if these cards end up in secret rare slots, they're not going to break the bank, all right? Like, they'll be very cheap. Good news for the people that want to, you know, pick up singles. Bad news for people that want to open up cases. Now, this is going to be the worst secret rare in the set. The Tri-Brigade Arms Bucephalus 2 or Bucephus 2, or however you want to pronounce it, but this is the big Tri-Brigade Link 5 that says you got to have a lot of Tri-Brigade spells and traps in your graveyard. And for this being a Link 5, I really had hoped that I could find something better to put in this card slot, but knowing Konami, they're going to dump this in the set, and we're all going to stare at this, and we're going to go, yeah, I think that's just going to be the sad reaction here. There's got to be one secret that looks really good. I mean, don't get me wrong, this card looks amazing, but this is going to be, it only makes sense on the prediction list. Next up here was the Prime Planet Parios. Now, this actually, a lot of once again, the pictures that we've seen floating around, evidently, have this as an Ultra. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see it as an Ultra, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this as a secret either, because all of these field spells that do amazing, bonkers, crazy things, Konami literally took, you know, the first Scareclaw one, they made it an Ultra, and then they promoted, you know, the Tear Elements field spell to secret rare. So unless they're going to, you know, revert spin that back, which doesn't make any sense to me, that they would want to maintain, you know, some sort of consistency on that. So either way, it's either an Ultra or a secret, and I don't know what they would replace it with. Now, this is going to be your power card in the set. Triple Tactics Tasking. If you are expecting this to not be a secret rare, you're crazy, man. This perfectly makes sense to suit this set, because this card is absolutely bonkers. Alright, now trust me when I say this, I think that this card is one of the best cards in the set by, actually it is the best card in the set by a mile, actually. The fact you get all this searchability, the fact that this card just, it does so much for you. Alright, don't be surprised if you see this card come out of the gate here at some sort of crazy price point of like 80, 90 bucks, because it is that good. All right, that searchability that this card gives you, holy moly, man. It's so frustrating. Now, we also know that Gold Pride Leon here is probably going to follow the secret rare pattern too. The sneak peek promo usually follows suit in the set as some sort of secret rare. And now I'm very curious to know if, you know, if it will be this one or if it'll be something else, but I definitely, you will see probably Leon be the new headliner here. And then there's always exclusive 000, which is usually some sort of world exclusive card. The last one that would have eaten this spot would have been Spellbound, which is a good card in its own right. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what 000 actually brings to the table for this set. But those are my secret rare predictions as of now. Now, let's go talk about the Starlight predictions here. Now, the first one is I have is going to be Chaos Witch. This is the one that makes the tokens. It's very, very relevant here that, one, this meets the waifu tax bill. Two, the new theme is definitely starting to form for Chaos. Like, if you haven't noticed, like, the next few themes, like, we're doing something with Chaos. It's starting to build in the game, so it only makes sense for them to make suit with this. We have the Grand Finale Dragon making it into Starlight. Once again, meets the waifu tax. It's a beautifully designed card. I'm not shocked to have, like, to want to see this. Like, I don't think a lot of other people are like, you know, that seems like a bad start. No, I think it's good. Next up is the Kashtira Arise Heart, that beautiful Strong Exceed monster, the walking, talking macro Cosmo itself. The Quick Play Detach 3 card is by far absolutely bonkers. And then I have Triple Tactic Tasking on this list. Now, certain other power cards and other sets have not had certain imports into Starlight. You know, look at Droplet, which later on became an ulti. If this dodges Starlight, I think that this will end up as a ulti in an OTS pack much later. And then as we're going to call the Starlight import for this set, I actually have is Chaos Goddess here. And I thought about Photon Dragon. You know, either that or Chaos Goddess would be very appropriate for this. Or we'll finally get Ash Blossom and Joy of Spring. Looks around the room. Maybe someday. But that's everything up on the prediction block here. But what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace. patrons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.